What if I told you there might be a fundamental code baked into the very fabric of our universe, just hiding in plain sight? Today, we're going to dive into the source material behind one of Nikola Tesla's most mysterious and fascinating ideas to see what it's all about.
It all starts with this quote right here. If you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. I mean, that's a heck of a claim, right? A key to the entire universe? This single, profound statement is the launching point for our whole investigation.
So what did he really mean by that? A key to the universe? Well, the source material we're exploring suggests Tesla might have actually stumbled upon a basic numerical code that governs reality itself. To really get it, we need to follow the breadcrumbs the theory lays out, and it all starts with some simple but incredibly powerful patterns in nature.
Okay, so the core idea here is that the universe is deeply, deeply mathematical. You see it everywhere, right? From the spirals in a seashell to the way life itself multiplies. Take cell division. One cell becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8, and on and on. This simple doubling sequence is one of the most fundamental patterns of growth in existence.
Now, before we go any further, there's this one super simple math trick we need to get our heads around. It's called the digital root. All you do is take the digits of any number and add them up until you get a single digit. So, for example, the number 32. You just do 3 plus 2, which is 5. Easy. For a number like 64, you do 6 plus 4, which is 10. Since that's not a single digit, you do it again. 1 plus 0 gives you 1. This little tool is actually the key to unlocking this whole thing.
All right, so what happens when we take that digital root concept and apply it to our doubling sequence? Well, we start with 1, 2, 4, and 8, which are already single digits. But when we get to 16, the digital root is 7. For 32, it's 5, and for 64, it's 1. And suddenly, you start to see something really interesting emerge.
And boom, there it is. The pattern is always the same 6 digits. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. The source material highlights that this sequence just repeats over and over, infinitely, no matter how high you go. And what's really wild is that it also works in reverse. If you start having numbers, you get the same pattern, revealing this fundamental pulse of growth and decay.
So this brings us right to the heart of the first big mystery. In this absolutely fundamental pattern of the universe, 3 numbers are completely, totally missing. 3, 6, and 9. They just never show up. The question is, why?
According to the theory in our source material, these numbers aren't missing by accident. Nope. It seems they're operating by their own distinct set of rules, almost like they exist in a different world altogether.
Check this out. If we take the number 3 and start doubling it, we get 6. Double that, you get 12. Its digital root is 3. Double that, you get 24, and its root is 6. You see? The pattern just bounces back and forth between 3 and 6 forever. They're stuck in their own little closed loop, never even touching that other sequence of numbers.
So the source material offers this really fascinating, kind of out-there interpretation for this split. It suggests that the first group of numbers, the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, actually represents our physical three-dimensional world, and that the other 2 numbers, 3 and 6, govern a higher, unseen dimension.
But wait a minute. Even when we isolate this special, higher dimensional pair of 3 and 6, one number is still an outlier. The number 9 is completely absent. This suggests it's something else entirely. It's not part of the physical world, and it's not part of this higher dimension either.
And that, of course, brings us to the most powerful claims in the whole theory, all centered on the number 9. The theory presents it not just as another number, but as the master controller of this entire system, the one that governs both of the other realms.
Unlike every other number, 9 is completely self-contained. It's special. If you start with 9 and double it, you get 18. And guess what? The digital root is 9. Double that to 36. The digital root is still 9. No matter what you do, it always comes back to itself.
And the source even uses the universal language of geometry to show how powerful 9 is. And it all starts with something as simple as a circle.
So, a full circle is 360 degrees, right? The digital root, 3 plus 6 plus 0, is 9. Okay, now cut it in half to 180 degrees. 1 plus 8 plus 0 is 9. Cut it in half again to 90 degrees. The root is 9. Half again to 45, still 9. You can keep dividing it all the way down to a single point, and the digital root is always, without fail, 9.
And get this, it's not just circles. The source shows that the sum of the interior angles for all these basic shapes also consistently reduces to 9.
A triangle is 180 degrees, a root of 9. A square, 360, a root of 9. A pentagon, 540, also a root of 9. It seems to be a geometric constant.
Okay, so the theory lays out this really neat mathematical pattern. But then it goes a step further and says, hey, this isn't just a numbers game. You can see echoes of this everywhere, throughout the universe and even in ancient human cultures. For instance, the source connects the number 9 to the supposed vibrational frequency of the universe at 432 Hz. Guess what the digital root is? Yep, 9. It also points to the sacred number 108 in Hinduism and the 18-day war in the Mahabharata. And yep, both have digital roots of 9. And this brings us to maybe the most mind-bending claim from the source material, that the number 9 doesn't just govern the system, but it actually represents the fundamental duality of existence itself. It's both everything and nothing. So how can it be both? Well, on one hand, 9 acts kind of like 0, like nothingness. You multiply any number by 9, and the digital root of the answer is always 9. But on the other hand, if you add up all the other single digits, 1 through 8, you get 36, which has a digital root of 9. So it also embodies the grand total of everything else.
This idea really positions 9 as the ultimate force in this whole system. According to the source, it's the invisible hand guiding the physical world, that higher dimension of 3 and 6, and maybe even the very fabric of space and time itself.
So, we're left with this final, really provocative thought. Does this incredibly intricate web of patterns truly represent a fundamental key to the universe, just like Tesla suggested? Or is it all just a beautiful and fascinating quirk of the base 10 number system we happen to use? Well, I guess the answer to that